So I always like to call and make sure they have how many you have in stock. Can you reserve it for me, or anything like that? Is it still this price? And that's kind of how, I make sure that I'm not going to screw myself over after giving an estimate or anything like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have the time to call everybody.
Yeah.
You just got to wing it.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
You just got to know who all the suppliers are in town, or you have to know how to use the internet really efficiently.
Right. Hey guys, Jeff here with ProfitDig. We're here tonight with Chris and Jerry and Jeff, and then we got some special guests here tonight. We got Abraham and we got Joe. They both are with Bloom Landscaping out of Franklin, Tennessee, and we're excited about having them here tonight. And we're going to pick their brain a little bit and get some insight from them. But first and foremost, be sure to hit the like button, share us, let people know that we're out here, and we appreciate y'all tuning in to our show. All right, so Abraham, Joe.
Yeah.
So how's business right now?
Business is fantastic. You've got one of the hottest economies in America, and you just got to work hard, hustle, and anybody can make it out here.
Out of the Williamson County and Davidson County areas, man, it's booming.
Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Yeah. Well, next question. Business is good. Got all kinds of work.
Yeah.
How y'all doing on getting materials?
Well,
there's times where you got to pay more just to get it.
Or you got to drive, an hour away to McMinnville to pick up trees, shrubs. All sorts of stuff, because all the places around town that you normally get from your, distributors, they don't have them.
Yeah.
And so you either have to drive an hour and a half to go get them, or you have to tell the customer, hey, I got to wait 2 weeks to get them in, or however long it takes.
Let me ask you this. Now, say you bid a project and you gave them a guaranteed price. Well, now you find out you can't get the materials here locally and you got to drive. What do you do about the extra cost?
I eat it, because on every job I always put in a little cushion. And with everybody's little cushion, there's always that one problem out of 50 where you've got to pay out of pocket for it. So with those little cushions, that helps out. With those 1 out of 20, 1 out of 50.
So what kind of information or heads up would you give our viewers out there? How do you plan to prepare for like a great economy, but it really sucks because you can't get materials? How do you plan for that?
I think, before you give an estimate, you kind of always call around and get your pricing, make sure. Sometimes, you have a pricing list, but you never know when that pricing is going to change, especially during COVID and this time of year. So I always like to call and make sure they have how many you have in stock. Can you reserve it for me, or anything like that? Is it still this price? And that's kind of how, I make sure that I'm not going to screw myself over after giving an estimate or anything like that.
Yeah. Sometimes you don't have the time to call everybody.
Yeah.
You just got to wing it. You just got to know who all the suppliers are in town, or you have to know how to use the internet really efficiently.
Right. Well, at this time, like whenever you have, say you've done a job 2 weeks ago, you just finished up. You got your current material prices. You're bidding a new job or giving a new estimate. Do you add a percentage to it to allow for this, possible increase in material pricing, or
if you do have to drive somewhere to go get it or anything like that?
Do you allocate, something in that in your future pricing, or how do you handle that?
With us, we're lucky where we do 90% residential, less than commercial, because with residential it goes by week, whereas commercial, you can bid out a project where it doesn't start 6 months from now, and you don't know what the prices are going to look like for 6 months from now. So unless you have that clause in that contract, we're very fortunate where we have a lot of residential customers where we can go on with that.
And you bring up a good point. Like in your commercial type stuff, when you put a clause in, what's your time frame? Like, this price is good for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. What's your cutoff right now? Is it 7 days? Is it 10 days? What is your cutoff right now?
Well, if prices dramatically increase, we just run away, and that's it. That's all we can do. Don't answer the phone call, and that's it.
We didn't even bid that.
I don't know who you're talking about, but that's not us.
Yeah, that's funny.
So should we be expecting an email at some point saying, can you please take that video down?
I get that, because like right now, I'm catching a lot of flack in my work because our material prices, they're only guaranteeing prices. Some suppliers are 7 days, some are 10 days. So I guarantee all my prices for 7 days right now. We're having an issue, like where I'm having to go back and ask the owner or the GC, for more money, because realistically, it's like, 30, 45 days, 60 days before I actually get a contract. And that's tough.
Yeah.
I think where you can work on that is basically have your marketing really on point to where, in case this customer backs out because you have to increase your prices, you've got a whole line of other customers to go to keep your crews busy, because nobody knows what's going to happen a month from now or 6 months from now.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the customer and say, look, we got to increase the prices because what we bid it on 2 months ago, it's dramatically increased by 30%. We're actually going to lose money if we do this project. Are you going to increase it, or do you just want us to, go out to another customer?
Yeah.
It's so much you can do, because I really don't want to lose money on a job unless I sign a contract and I agree to a certain amount,
Yeah.
But if things change and they're out of my control, there's only so much I can do.
Well, and then, theoretically, once you have a contract or a notice to proceed or a letter of award, at that point you can secure your material pricing. You can lock those materials in and say, hey, I need these materials locked in. I'm expecting delivery in the next 45 days.
It's not always a guarantee, because they can sell that stuff to somebody else, their most preferred customer.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And when they tell you, oh, I'm sorry, we made a mistake.
They're like, that's out of our hands. That's out of our hands. That's a 3% crap.
Now, unless you're a really big company that does millions of dollars with that company, of course they'll give you preferred. But for the small guys, it's hard to do.
But 2 months ago we didn't have this issue.
18 months ago, no one knew about COVID.
Right. Yeah. But it's that's the reason I'm asking these questions, because it seems to be, other people that I compete with. I talk to my material suppliers. I use multiple material suppliers in my line of work, and I'm getting the same story. It's like, it just keep prolonging. In which most of our stuff, we go up to like 36-inch pipe. That's what we install, 36-inch and down. Well, 6 and 8-inch stuff hasn't really been a big issue. 8-inch and below hasn't been too big of an issue. Fittings, ductile iron fittings, that's really killing us right now. We can't get them in. We're having trouble because they had a bad outbreak in India, with COVID, and everything shut down, the foundry shut down. And so, we're having trouble getting fittings. But where I'm seeing the biggest trouble in my scope of work is anything that's greater in size than 8-inch pipe. It's like we're having a really, really hard time getting that pipe in. And, a lot of it goes to, lack of workers, what I'm being told. There's a lot of materials. Yeah, there's a lot of materials that's sitting out, at sea right now on these container ships that they won't let in because they say supposedly customs issues. I don't really know what the answer is. I just know we got a lot of work, and I've got a lot of men that depend on me. Their families depend on me and my company, to make sure for their livelihood. But
what can you do if you can't get materials?
You can't get materials.
You gotta get a rowboat,
the job
go out there and see, and start.
You're sitting there at a standstill. You're just like, what the hell do I do?
Well, and I've heard about new residential construction where homeowners are actually in their contracts with the builder. There's clauses stating that the home may cost this or up to this, depending on the fluctuation in material prices during the construction of my home. I'm not eager to sign up for that. You guys run into that or anything?
Hey, bank, I might need a loan for this amount, but it could be this amount. Just make sure you have the money ready for
it. In the perfect world, you just have the check cut when I need to come by and pick it up. I'm just curious, have you guys run into that with any new construction or anything like that? Residential?
No, not really. Normally, when it comes to, I think, new development, new construction in neighborhoods, normally the builder will kind of give the landscaper a sheet of paper saying these are the exact plants that I want per house, and this is what I want installed, and I need a price per house, per section of that neighborhood, and you kind of go from there, and whoever gives them the lowest bid is the guy who's going to get awarded, you know? The same thing goes for irrigation systems, or grading out that area or that lot, and that's just kind of how it works, I think, and they just have a bottom dollar, and who can meet that budget, and that's who the ones who's going to get it. But I have seen an increase in their budgets because of the material costs and shrubs and all that stuff increasing. But I haven't really seen a fluctuation of prices on anything like that, really.
What about the horticulture? Have you guys found instances where you weren't able to get a specific species of plant or something, and then you have to get into a little more of consulting work and try to steer them in another
Yes.
direction? Or,
So we head out to McMinnville, which is the largest nursery capital in America, right?
in America.
And we buy literally every month almost a semi worth of plants and trees.
Is this
And-
ball and burlap?
Yeah, ball and burlap or
Yeah.
container.
or
whatever.
containers,
It
all
doesn't
the
matter.
above. Yeah.
And certain types of popular plants can't get our hands
get
on.
it.
You know, no matter if you call 20 or 30 nurseries, there's over 300 nurseries there.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you call almost every single one, and they don't have specific
They don't
types
have-
of plants or trees.
Yeah.
And you just literally have to substitute it and just pray that nobody notices.
Well, I
you
was
know?
going to say, that was my next question. When you have to substitute something, do you have to reach out for approval, or do you just
It depends. If is it an architect where you're doing a landscape architect with
or is
plans,
it a
or it's just a
homeowner?
homeowner who doesn't
Exactly.
know what the difference are. You just want something green over there
Yeah.
in that specific spot,
Yeah.
and I want privacy. I don't care what it looks like. I just want privacy. And
Yeah.
you're used to selling this, but now you've got to substitute or switch to that.
Exactly, but if you're dealing with a multi-family complex, you definitely got to get approval on that because you're talking 300, 400 shrubs.
Oh,
you know,
sure.
at that point.
Yeah, you can't just put
Yeah, you
something
can't just
in
be
your-
like, this looks good here, so screw it.
And I know, from doing subdivision work and stuff in the past, I know like Franklin is very peculiar about theirs. Like you go in, you got this raw piece of ground, and your grader goes in and clear cut everything and take everything down, and then they stipulate you got to have so many inches, of greenery put back, like per acre or per square foot,
Yeah.
however they do it,
Yeah, you have to have like in front of the houses, you have to have whoever approves what tree it is. You have to have a tree in every front yard. You have to have 2 trees per every sidewalk strip. You know what I mean? Going down the road, common areas. Like there's stuff that you literally have to get inspected and get cleared, and that goes by house per section. So,
Not only that, the most important thing now is drainage. Where's the water going to go off the surface?
Yeah.
So the most important thing now is modified French drains or some way to divert water away by retention areas or things like
Yeah.
that. That's more important now to a city than anything else,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But I do have to come back, kind of circle around here to what a statement Joe made a minute ago. He was talking about like when you get bids and stuff, and then once you get this project, if you are the low bidder, in your scope of work or your line of work, what are the options as far as maintaining a maintenance contract with these property owners? Like if you go in and you give a bid to do X amount of houses, do y'all get any maintenance agreements out of those houses, or what's the percentage on that?
well, commercial wise or
Well, both. Yeah.
For commercial wise, that you can actually be separate. So you can actually have somebody who comes in and does the initial install of all the plants, shrubs, irrigation, lighting, even, and then you can once when that's said and done, you are done with that house. Then it gets transferred over to the maintenance guys. Then you can build a maintenance contractor, or you can be that maintenance guy. You can give them a maintenance proposal, but they are two separate deals normally.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of communities and stuff, like you build now and move into now, they have HOAs.
Yeah.
And a lot of that maintenance agreements is, it can still be residential, but it's like on a commercial level because of HOAs.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's kind of my question, like when you have a situation where you have a townhome section or, and they have HOAs, if y'all bid this job and you get it, what are the potential of getting your maintenance agreements?
Or is that something you guys are even concerned with? It may not be.
Whenever I hear the word HOA, I run the other way.
Okay.
I know I have to go to 15 different meetings and deal with 7 different people
Oh, gosh,
Yeah, and then
to get that contract.
okay.
And sometimes, it's not worth it because I already met 2 of those guys and I know they're going to take up a majority of my time.
Yeah, you can be on another job.
Yeah.
100%.
Fair enough, yeah.
But some of those contracts are so big that it's hard to turn down.
And sometimes you do want to get them though because it's a certain property management company that has multiple subdivisions in the area. That if you get one, you get all. You see, so it kind of really depends on the area.
It's also really price competitive.
It's
and
maintenance is
a lot of
very
your time.
price competitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now, kind of the same scope of questions here. Even when you install, we're not talking about landscaping, we're talking about irrigation. When you install an irrigation system, well, here in our area, we do have freezes. Mm-hmm. So most of the time your irrigation systems are drained, usually right around end of October, 1st of November. Yeah. So if you install a irrigation system, is there a chance for, like winter maintenance, for that contract?
Yes. Yeah. Normally, if we install the irrigation system, your first winterization will be free. And so what we'll do is we'll take a pull behind compressor, hook it up to your backflow, go through each
Blow everything
zone,
out.
and we'll blow out the system. 2 minutes
Yeah.
per zone. You blow it out, and then you make sure there's no. I mean, it's not guaranteed there's no water in it, but you get 95% of the water out of that system. And so therefore, because whenever water freezes, it expands, and that's what breaks the pipe,
Right.
the heads, the backflow, anything like that. So yeah, normally with an irrigation system, you normally do either your startup free or your winterization free
Yeah.
for the first year, and then after that, you get charged and whatnot. So
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, Abraham, Joe, we sincerely appreciate you guys coming
Abraham.
out here and visiting.
No, this was
Yeah,
a
this
great
is awesome.
night. We had
Hey.
a ton of laughs.
I get to drink beer and talk business. What's
Oh,
that?
yeah.
If anybody's in the Dixon area, you guys need to check these guys out. You also
Well,
need to look up the
and Blue
programs that
Landscape.
they're selling.
Hey, how can they find you guys? What's your web address?
BloomLandscapes.com.
BloomLandscapes.com.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What area do y'all cover in Middle
We
Tennessee?
cover mostly Franklin, Brentwood, a little bit of West Nashville.
Fantastic.
Hey guys, these guys do awesome work. Y'all need to reach out to them if you have any landscaping needs, any kind of shrubbery or greenage. Reach out to them. They're great guys. They do great work, and they will not do you wrong. And again, here at ProfitDig, we're looking for y'all to hit the like button, share us. Let people know about us. We appreciate y'all tuning in and hope to have something new for you next week.
See you soon.
Thanks, guys.